Hello, and welcome to Nemo's Views. Recently, online on Twitter, X, has been about the U.S. presidential election and presidential debates, and I've seen Donald Trump having a debate with President Joe Biden. I say debate. Um, Now, before I go on, let me just say I don't know anything about Joe Biden. I don't know what the fella stands for. I don't even know what party he's with, whether he's a Republican or a Democrat. I don't know. Um, I don't know any of his policies. I don't know anything about the man other than what I've seen online. But I've got to say that President Biden does not look like a well man. He does not look. He doesn't look the full ticket, does he? Let's be fair. Um, I saw snippets of a debate with uh, Donald Trump and President Biden. And Donald Trump, although he may have been chatting wet, but he was able to sort of construct a sentence. It may have been nonsense what he was saying, but at least he was able to construct a sentence. Whereas President Biden just seemed to stutter and stammer a lot. He didn't seem to make an awful lot of sense. And I'm wondering why the American government is allowing this to continue. A clearly unwell man. I'm not trying to take anything away from him, his achievements or his accomplishments, whatever they may be. But why are the Americans allowing somebody that clearly isn't very well to continue in the highest office of the land? And I mean, the United States president, let's be fair, if you notice, I'm referring to him as President Biden all the way through, because the esteem that the president of the U.S. has, um, it's always been a case of a sort of reverence towards the U.S. president, and what I did see the other day was President Biden standing with some people. There was some sort of rally or some such or another, and there was a man there, and he put his hand on the president on the shoulder, and I didn't think that was allowed. I thought anybody that sort of the only person allowed to actually make physical contact like that would be the president's wife. I didn't think that other people were allowed to sort of put hands on the president, whether it's in an affectionate manner or whatever. I don't know. It just strikes me as being very strange when it seems I've never noticed anybody putting hands on President Barack Obama. Do you still call them president even if they're not the president anymore? But they have been. I don't know. It's all very peculiar. I'm not a medical expert by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just a human being, but I can tell when another human being doesn't look well. He doesn't look. I don't know if it's tablets if it's the medication he's taking. Because let's be fair, he's an old boy now. But surely somebody in the Oval Office, in the White House, in Congress or whatever, would have seen and said, hang on a minute, why are we allowing a man that's so obviously not quite with it to be the president? Surely they should just say, look, let's stand him down on health grounds. There's no shame in being stood down on health grounds. No embarrassment for him there. If if he was the president, he did the best job he could. Unfortunately, ill health. I think the Americans have had other presidents that have retired or stepped down because of ill health. So this wouldn't be unprecedented. But I don't know. I don't understand why they're allowing him to continue when he just looks vacant. He just looks like they've wheeled him in from the nursing home and he's just sitting there. wondering when the lady with the tea trolley's going to come round. I genuinely don't understand it. I mean, you just watch. I mean, people have been making fun of him online, and that's not nice. That's not good. When somebody is, clearly as unwell as he is, making fun of him for tripping over, stumbling, falling downstairs and tripping over and sort of getting lost and wandering off. It's just not funny. It's not funny. And if it was your dad or your granddad or whatever, you would, defend him, and you would say, no, that's not right. He's got Alzheimer's disease or Parkinson's or dementia or whatever the case might be. And you would say, no, that's not right. But I suppose it's the way it is with life online. But I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. If you look at Joe Biden now, and he's just, I don't know. It just strikes me as very bizarre and very strange that somebody that, for whatever reason, doesn't appear to have all his mental faculties going on, is allowed to continue such a high profile job. Being the leader of any country is extremely high profile. Even the most tin pot Mickey Mouse country, being the president of that is hard going, and it's hard work, and it's the job to be respected. But I don't know. He's got a high profile job, but he's being allowed to continue, and I don't understand why. But there we go. Hopefully, if it's a medication problem, his aides and staff and stuff can change the medication. His doctors can change the medication and say, no, this is obviously causing a bad reaction. It's made you go doolally. We're going to change this, tweak this. Don't take that. Take this instead. Because he is American and he is the president, he's got access to the highest healthcare, the highest form of healthcare going, and rightly so. I don't know. I just don't see. I don't see why it's being allowed to continue. And hopefully, for the good of President Biden, decisive action, something will happen soon that takes him away from such a stressful position, because it must be stressful. Mind you, if you're not really there, they say the mind and body don't always travel together, and yikes, that really is the case here. So hopefully something decisive will happen, and he won't remain in this dreadful position. So that's the end of that. That's all I've got to say about that. If you've watched this far, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.